Kasikanika Siwandalushne. And this is out on the travel so the travel so Birsti you became dress 7, 8 dayu to Sakalacho. Chinga Nalazeo became dress so. He is to the Dale, to the Nuni, the Sanales to make out the need transfer and Nale made out. For you na pass is intereses ni. For you, asi sa dunecho, nechala ni, almost kilsons.
Nechala ni ahultelsana. Good afternoon, salot ina edladot Yay, hey, Harelya dunzineke. Loliat Indian summer huliondela Atlanant Melissa Nico Sela. Hello, welcome. Good afternoon. Yate, what's here? Vanessa and easy. Dog out here with say hello to Nide. Say hi, say what's up. E hell says no Nila de the si Willis Janvier who she Nintelas tours the Clearwater River Dene Nation band member in the Treaty 8 territory. And dun zinege dogas in the Halyas Tiade. No Halhuntathi Dada Treaty 4 territory at RC home of the Cree Métis Sioux, Assiniboine, Dakota, Lakota, all beautiful indigenous people. Good day, bro. Wolf Janvier. Good afternoon from Saskatoon. Hey, welcome. So do Bahalyas Tiela Marianne Neil Huliet way. In Telas Tuazani, their Dene Hero project, Shane Janvier, last year, you see, Bonither, but not Sneelet, Dene Yati podcast, Bonither, one of the people, but Zanfuna Slani. And almost a year later, here, Tamba, but it's due that the funding, see, and their Zakue the Nohanil Tinzit stories the Ritlisi so I hope Nintelas Tuto Nulzege at Clearwater North Day go check it out all weekend nila. But anyways, I'll bring her in here. Hello, but hello. Claudine Ray Ballette, hello. But anyways, I'll bring her in. Yas bahalyo to dentidit ilo so tot inaza. Arrest the question in what's in it. Daru Johnson Selotina. Hello, Marianne. How are you doing?
Hi, Willis. Well, I'm very happy to be here in La Loche, beautiful La Loche. Gorgeous summer day, Indian summer, I guess, if I can say that.
Yeah, it's good. You're good. Don't worry about it. It's all good positive content, that's what we put out here. So maybe I'll get you to introduce yourself to the audience and we'll get right into it.
Sure. Well, I am, I've been a friend of the Dene in the Satu for about 50 years. We have a connection that goes back to 1971 when I was 19 years old. And I wrote about it in a book called Under the Midnight Sun. They asked me to write about it because it's kind of a coincidental story, starting in 1971 and then continuing till today. And one of the things that I have been working with them on since since I guess 2015, so the last 6 years, is a way to promote their pride in their Dene heritage, because they're my friends and I think they're amazing. And when I talk about the Dene, a lot of my non-Indigenous friends don't know who I'm talking about. So I want the rest of Canada to learn about the Dene. So we started writing these books. This one is volume 4 in the series of the Dene Hero series. So that was the Dene Heroes of the Sahtu. And we published 4 books in 4 years. It's not me writing the stories. It's the Dene people writing the stories themselves. Yep. So that they can explain their culture and their history, why they're happy and proud to be Dene, and they should be.
Yeah.
So Shane found me.
How did Shane find you there?
He saw just a 1-minute video that's on YouTube about our Dene Heroes series. Mm-hmm. And somehow from that video, he tracked me down. He's a magic with research, I guess. He found me in Victoria. Yeah. And he said, "What's this Dene Hero project? What's that about? Can we do it in La Loche?" And I said, "Sure." So he spent quite a bit of time writing proposals, trying to get funding, finding a way to get me out here so I could explain how this project works. It's a little bit different. Mm-hmm. It's not funded by like a university or anything. It's just me. And so he said, "Well, we'll find a way to get you to La Loche." And now that we're here in La Loche, we're going to make our own Dene project, but I think we're going to call it Dene Strong.
Dene Strong.
Dene Strong. How do you say that in your language, Willis?
Dene Strong is nutser.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, I like that. It's just you, just like right here, Dene Yati. It was, me, and with the help of many people. Here we are. It's good the work you've done. Where is the Sahtu Dene or the region?
Nobody knows where the Sahtu is.
Myself as a Dene person, I don't even know.
Actually, you have a lot in common. I understand a lot of your words. Like we have tu is water, tue is lake, and we call like a big river Decho. Decho is the Mackenzie River, and you say Descho. It's very similar. We say Amma and Abba, grandmother and grandfather. So the Sahtu consists of 5 very small Dene communities in the Northwest Territories. And they came together, these 5 communities came together to create a land claim, a modern treaty. That was about 30 years ago. And it was called the Sahtu, Dene, and Métis Comprehensive Land Claim Agreement. And now they are part of that. Now that region is called the Sahtu, but it is the 5 little communities. Norman Wells has some non-Indigenous people, but Tulita, Culver Lake, Delaunay, and Fort Good Hope are 99% Dene people.
Cool, good stuff. It's always good to share a little bit of info about Dene people. We're just scattered everywhere. I've had guests from the Navajo people to some people in the NWT, and it's always interesting how it all comes together, and we're able to understand each other a bit. And good for you for picking that up as a non-Dene person to I guess show so much interest that you're able to remember a little word, a small word like tu, because that's how we remember, because we want to learn and we want to be there,
But actually, Willis, we're all Dene.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
We're all Dene, but the Dene and the Sahtu, they say they're the Denewa, the real Dene.
Yeah. I've heard different Dene groups say that. So, we don't want to create anything that we're going to fight right here on Facebook or YouTube. So we'll leave that out of there. Yeah.
It's just that everybody's Dene.
Yeah. I think that's what they mean, but You know, there's
It
so much
is.
pride within each tribe, I guess we would be.
One of the people, her name is Besha Blondin, and she's Dene from Delaney. And she said to me, Marianne, why are you working so hard for the Dene people? And I didn't know what to say because I said, I don't know. I think I just feel like they're my family. And she looked really hard at me and she said, that's because you have a Dene heart. I think it's true.
Yeah.
I think deep down, maybe I have a Dene heart.
Maybe a Dene spirit.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's the same thing. But going on with your project here, how much? I understand in the last couple of days you've been doing presentations to the students here. How has that been?
Great. Great. I can see them really listening and thinking it through. It's hard to answer really quickly. Like if I said to you, who is your Dene hero, or what do you love about being Dene? You really have to think about it. It's not an instant yes or no answer. So we're getting them thinking about it, and we want them to interview elders or parents. We want the aunties and the uncles to be part of this. It will be a full community and school coming together to celebrate what it means to be Dene and putting it into a book. And then in the spring, when we publish the book, we will have a big book launch, a big celebration with a feast and prayers and speeches. And each person who contributes to the book will be honored. They will have their own book and they will be able to say a little bit about what it means to be Dene. So we hope to put La Loche on the map because it's such a beautiful community. And I had no idea. Shane has been showing me around, and I think the rest of Canada needs to know about it.
Yeah, I like that. It's always good to promote my hometown, and all the good things, and especially the people. Very welcoming there when you come in. There's so much misconception, I guess, about La Loche because due to some media. But once you get there and you're in it, it's a good place to be for sure.
It's also the language is really alive here. A lot of people are speaking their language, and I think that's a really important cultural contribution to Canada. Like we should be respecting that and honoring that and learning more of the Dene words.
Yeah, I know the elementary school, they have more of Dene speaking teachers now, and there's a lot. Even on the reserve, they have a K-4 program where they just teach in Dene, and there's a lot of good stuff. We're just a small part, and of not a very big group of people that are able to speak the language. So it's good work that's being done.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm really happy to see people using the language, and even sometimes the younger kids they'll hear something in the Dene language, but then they'll respond in English. But I know that they understand, and I hope that they will keep trying to speak the language.
Yeah, that's for sure. I hope they do one day and say, hey, it's okay to say, say this word in my language. So, how many, is this just a one time you come up for 1 week, or are you going to be back another time? Do you plan on having
it looks like I'll be back in November. So what we've done on this trip is create awareness, launch the project, and get people thinking about what they're going to write about. And then they're on their own if they want to interview somebody, if they want to write about an experience that they had or a tradition that they really love or something, but they're going to have to write something. And this promotes literacy because the other people will read what their friends have written and what their friends have written about them too. And so they're going to submit those stories to Shane by November 15th. And they have to be in a Word document. So they have to use technology. They're learning a lot of different skills. And after Shane gets them, we're going to start looking at them. I'm going to come back for another week, closer to the end, like the 22nd to the 29th or something of November. And we're going to look at themes, and we're going to look at what the book is going to look like, make some decisions about the font, the design, the graphics, all the things that go into, the cover of the book, the binding, the just everything that's inside the book. There's a lot of decisions we have to make. And then after that, we will send the stories off to be published in their book, and we'll have a big celebration early in the new year. It might be February 11th, my birthday, my 70th birthday, or it might be March, just before spring break. We don't know. We will figure that out as time goes by.
Yeah, that's good. That's a lot of good stuff. I have a lot of questions, but it seems you kind of answered it there with, having to wait. But yeah, I'm very interested in promoting this and hopefully you get a good turnout of stories and kids that are willing to go out there and do the work, because we're all part of some big picture, and to promote Dene Sutlina content, I'm always pushing for that, so.
Well, wait a second. What about you? Are you going to write a story?
I don't know.
I put you on the spot.
I'm busy, I can try, but
I think you should try. You got lots of time. You've got till November 15th.
Well, I'm in university, so I got to juggle work and a few classes and a podcast.
Oh, all those excuses.
Yeah. Hey, take one of my episodes and write it down.
We could do that.
Yeah.
Just send me a transcript or something. We could do something like that.
We'll see. I'll think of something maybe. Maybe
about it.
Come up. I don't know. What kind of stories do you think do you want to tell? Not just heroes, but I understand.
No, it could be anything. Honestly, it can be anything. It's just the only limitation is you have to be Dene, and you meet the qualifications, so you're okay.
Yeah.
So as long as you're Dene and you're writing about something in a kind of a positive way, like in a way that you are proud to be Dene, then you can write anything you want. You could write about being a Dene entrepreneur and starting your own podcast. Maybe some of the challenges that you faced or why you did it in the first place. That would be great, because what this is going to be doing is kind of co-creating the curriculum. So right now, I've been looking around these books in the library, in the English classrooms. I don't see very many books that are written by Dene authors. There's a few Indigenous authors, but there's not many by Dene. So this is a way for younger people to, next year, they can start reading what you wrote in your voice. They can start reading that book. And instead of reading what somebody else wrote, they're reading what their friends and their neighbors and their colleagues and their classmates have written. I think that the authentic Dene voice has a place in the curriculum. And it doesn't have to be something that's been hugely researched by some university professor. And I am one, so I can make fun of it, right? It can be just a heartfelt story, any kind of a story that someone has written from their heart, that what it means to be Dene, what it means to to learn about nature or the culture or the language or the traditions. Or, as in your case, starting having one foot in both worlds. You're able to speak the language, you're fluently bilingual. That's amazing. I know how hard it is to be bilingual. And you've got the technology, yet you've still got that cultural background as well. I think you have a lot to say. You can take a lot of pride in being Dene.
Yeah, that's the foundation of who I am for sure, and I always try to get that across. And to the listeners here today, I want to share something cool. I've had a message come through one of email or messenger or something of a student asking me to use my podcast for one of the papers in university. If you think about it, this book, can be that in the future. So, maybe whoever's listening and thinking about it, that's pretty cool and something that should be very proud of. Think of it that way. Somebody is going to use your words one day for education.
Absolutely, they will. And so it gives value to the person writing the story, and also value to the Dene people as a whole for their culture and who they are.
Yeah.
Their identity.
Yeah. And I hope, the Dene strong, Lalash represents that for sure. And I just really encourage a lot of people to come out there, even adults, come up with a story. Hopefully, there's some old, I always try to look for, do a bit of research of the area, old maybe creation stories, because a bit of colonization is impacted. So a lot of those old stories, if somebody can come up with it of the area and put it in that book, would, go and buy one right away.
That's a great idea. The legends, a lot of those legends up in the Satu have been proven to be true. There was a legend about these giant beavers, and I thought it was just a legend. I really did. I thought it was like a kid's fairy tale. But they found the fossils of these giant beavers. It's based on truth. It's fact.
That's interesting. It's always I was part of one podcast there, the beaver in northern BC. He said a cave in their area, they dated it 12,500 years ago. It was they found tools, I think, some kind of artifacts. But it's amazing how much info Dene people actually have. And but if we could dig up, in Lalash, the area, all the old stories, power to them. I hope they do it. And they will.
Merci.
Yeah. So if there's anything you want to add there, Marianne, and maybe you can put Shane on there for a couple minutes. I can ask him a couple questions if he wants.
He disappeared. I don't know where he went.
Maybe he's a little shy.
You're stuck with me. I'm so sorry.
Okay. Yeah, if there's anything you want to add there, we can.
Well, I think the main thing that I want to add is that I'm constantly shocked when I'm talking to non-Indigenous people, how little they know about Indigenous people. And it's time to change that. And with your help, Willis, we will do that. Hey, look who appeared.
I was just watching the live feed, so I was sitting in the next room there.
Shane.
Nazon.
Here's my tour guide and my host extraordinaire.
Oh, Nazon. Senator the project the hero project. The John tour cuts to the high school around the school and around the building and also around the community. And then I saw no the do it ton then been near go there do abus on a couple years ago though John alas not school so kuiha nastano the tant udo tuno hachala nyank iti ha anastano nyasa hot athal. So the grandparents at Lono can I did or could on did has inant and I tant usi cannot there. The neither that too thought it can or say doing McCann tan seko bui alana. Can't I say like book it or even documentary. The Shatuna indigenous people then it's Shatuna seeking in a YouTube that I could bounce on la. Could then as much as it became in town jolly, the don't see almost all the left.
Yeah.
I can't I say Connie there is a YouTube video and us turning this one day it's in it's in a hero project has answer saw tools there. Yeah, but the zone routine there so someone to abuse all need it's a quest. Yeah, but kind of start job. There's a like posting law, a Facebook, a YouTube video like posting law and then somehow and tail and open a sneak bush track down a star. It's an affiliate job, exchange and emails a job, Facebook is a bush affiliate and the zone job it can't just like puzzles, eh? Yeah, economy the other couldn't have stories that they saw legends to see the no ni sha example ni ko le ba so de la e ko le preserve ya in the zone e yin you just toy the two ya the solution others new only see legends don't have stand all medicine man they don't have sickness after this doing like medicine man boss it and do tila do
jail is
like bo near darja 1000 year old young when you say preserve it is could there hotels and industry they hope next gen energy is like one of the world's richest uranium deposits I'll call it the national people are going to start flooding into the community one way or the other whether we like it or not, right? Money runs the world, and so no it's all in near and do big eat deal no you no it's all in new no culture the no big eat deal the no preserve it preserve it you can eat there on the low no it's cannabis can no take ni hatola.
Yeah, for sure. Shane,
all close and at the rate, around and the waiting game is pretty much over for us, right? Like we got to make a move somehow, and this is one way, I think.
Nezu, towards something. To keep that curiosity, in the child. That's one thing, that keeps everything going. They keep that kid curious, like Shane did. Eventually found, Marianne, and here we are. Something big is going to happen, and I think we should be proud of what he's doing there, Shane. To take the initiative to just even to write a proposal, I'm sure is a lot of work, and here we are, man. I'm proud to say I'm from the Lush just because of him for doing that.
Well, like it didn't take me just one thought that like proposal it took me a while, nearly a year to write the proposal. I had to ask her questions, she helped me along the way and I appreciate that. And like it all turned out to be great. And now so far we're starting to launch this project and we're giving awareness to the community and
Nezu ya Shane Vanessa Yanse Tini aren't dok Denin Delu at the presentation can daisy the rest of the week. Then how current need Itlane Balal Yade and Nezu.
Well, tomorrow we're going to continue on doing the presentation with the middle years, right? And once we finish all the presentation tomorrow, then we plan on going to the GDI building, which is a partnership to the project itself. So we hope to see the community members as well at the Gabriel Dumont Institute in the Lodge. 1 to 4 p.m. or something later to promote this and to give awareness about this project and what so I hope a lot of people shows up and I hope that everybody follows the COVID-19 protocols and show up with their not ID, but rather
Vaccination passport.
yes, vaccination passport. I forgot that when we were traveling back to La Loche from Saskatoon. We stopped at a Chinese restaurant. It was a Chinese restaurant, right? Yeah, and she had her passport and I didn't. So it was kind of hassle. So they couldn't allow us to have dinner in there. So we waited for a takeout, and we got takeout, and we had to eat in the vehicle, and it was such a mess.
He slammed on the brakes, and my yam fries went all over the car, but they were okay. A little dust doesn't hurt, really.
Yeah.
Cool, Nezun. Well, I want to wish you guys the best of luck for sure. Keep up the good work, and in the future, sometime after when you return to La Loche, we will chat again for sure. Thank you, Nezun
Yeah.
Shane.
Merci.
Merci, Cho. Nazo.
Masi Cho Henilata Kuya Selot in La Loche Not Dede. Go check them out. Gabin 1 to 4 Henila. Sometime Gabin Dane Schoolu. Dene High School middle years Henila. Zindist Anet the GDIs in. So I'm sure anybody is welcome. Then Kodona Tala. Anybody in Telas to it, is it Clearwater to you, Ashnether. Hey, maybe, then I go there, Ashnet Beldut ide, you could just use your phone, record and lot but just like I'm doing here, then hell yes, and then go back, write it down, just a little project, something to keep in mind. Kontu see again as a deha. But anyways, Masi Chona Hurler Selot in a do Sahal Huntaut, you Shane and Marianne, do that you seek and I hate there in the Zoom. That's good stuff. That's what I like to see. And my next guest I see it Shanlu next week, I believe. Devin Buffalo, Hulya. And now Leon Tekola hockey at is an eye there, so I want to bring him on, then I go there. So yeah, mas senior sim selot in a dun zinnig and obara liang leo. Si Willis Janvier Hushe in Taylor's tours in La Loche, Saskatchewan. Clearwater River Dene Nation band member at the ESLEO in the Treaty 8 territory. Yes, way up north. And dun zinnig logos in Ohalhun Tati Dare Treaty 4 territory home of the Cree, Métis, Sioux, Assiniboine, Dakota, Lakota, all beautiful indigenous people. Have a